Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
Good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. I am not. Well, I mean, the weekend's okay, but betting-wise, I'm not. I had such a great week. I had a good weekend last weekend. Was a solid week. Pretty much last Friday till the Friday that just passed. There was 8 straight days I was doing really well. Back-to-back losing MLB nights for me. I went 1-3 yesterday. Cleveland was my only win. Man, I need a Sunday here. So hopefully the bets I got down, I do have 4. I bet 4 games, 5 bets total open as of right now. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Scott Gallagher. Dream team total under. All right, I told Chris 11:15, so we still have 3 minutes. He said, I've been keeping tabs on the show just because I don't forget who they pick when the game time comes. Well, that's what we do on the website, is you could see who we bet. That's what but I guess if you don't have the website, yeah, you could write it down. Underdog Sunday. I do have one. I haven't bet it yet, but I do. There's one dog I want to take a shot with today. Anyone having a good WNBA season? I think Chris Be Cappin is having a good WNBA season. I think. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that he was doing well, though. I think it's the NBA playoffs where he went cold. I think WNBA, he's been pretty good. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Pats fan. Yeah, it's crazy. This Chris finished the NBA season up like 63 units or something, right? Like, awesome season. Has a losing week in the playoffs, and the comments are like, fade this guy. Like, yo, people are crazy. Yeah, yo, that UFC. I mean, as far as, okay, so the UFC card, was it the first fight? That second fight on the card, it was Morano against Nico Price. What in the hell was that? Were those guys even professional fighters? It looked like 2 random dudes from the office like went outside and tried to fight. Like, we were all laughing about that. That was a terrible fight. But I really liked the Strickland Costa fight. That was fun. I like the ones where there's like mind games. I don't necessarily need blind action the whole time. And I felt like that was a cool one to watch, even though the announcers, Joe Rogan, what in the hell? That was crazy. But, yeah. Yeah, I'm putting you on now.
What up, guy?
See, everyone's saying that Strickland fight was boring. I disagree. I like that one. I like when there's... Because they could actually fight, so they were being cautious. That Nico Price one was terrible. In the 3rd round, neither one could stand up. It was terrible. I understand a lot of people watch the UFC because they just want to see like punches being thrown, and I get it. That's just, I like the sport, so I like those kind of fights. All right, so it's 11:15. Let's get started. Chris, I already got the poll running. We got Connecticut on the road in Atlanta. Short line here. But I guess they got to start making these lines short because Connecticut's just not covering. They keep winning but not covering. So Atlanta is a short home dog, worth a glance.
Yeah, it's the variance in the WNBA, Cal, really tends to lie with the 3-point shot. Like the Atlanta Dream are really good offense. Well, they're supposed to be on paper. They're a really good offensive team, but their defense has actually been playing a little bit better, which is why I like the total in this one a little bit more than trying to pick the side. What I'll say about the side before I jump into the total is that Connecticut, they're dogs. Like this team is full of dogs. Alyssa Thomas has the spirit of a Draymond Green. DeWanna Bonner is like Kevin Durant, actually, with some spirit of himself. She's a top, 15, top 20 player in the WNBA. I think she's like top 12 now on offensive scoring list. Dejanay Carrington, you know how this team goes. They're the only undefeated team in the WNBA, but they haven't been covering the number, like you said, just 2-5 against the number. However, on the road, Kyle, this team, I went back and looked at it. I started handicapping WNBA last year. And I just wanted to see how well they did as a road team, since I've been watching WNBA. They're 14-2 straight up. You're really just asking them to win by possession. So can they get it done here? I think that they can. You got Atlanta Dream team coming off a humongous win. I was on the right side of them, plus the 9. They won that game outright against the defending champion Las Vegas Aces on Friday night. So a little bit of a letdown spot for them here. I can see that. But I can see Connecticut, being able to cover the number. I like the total more than the side, and here's the reason why. Both of these teams have been really great defensively. Connecticut Sun coming to this game, second best defensive team in the league. They play at a snail's pace, and a lot of their points come off second chance points and offensive rebounds. The Atlanta Dream don't give up a lot of points in the paint or second chance opportunities, with Tina Charles being down there with Cheyenne Parker-Tyus. So I think that this game actually goes under. The Dream have also been a little bit better than people are expecting on the defensive side of the basketball as well. I think a big part of that is Tina Charles, and their offense, for whatever reason, just can't score. So even specifically early in the game. So I guess I'm kind of talking myself into a first half under as well, but I like the under 160. This total
Which do you like
out,
more, the under or
I like the under more than the side. I would play the under 160, maybe potentially even a first half under as well, just because Atlanta has been one of the worst first half teams in the WNBA. They were playing the Aces too. That total was like 172 and a half, 174 the other day. And they had the end of the first quarter, it was like 7-5. You're like, what? So yeah, maybe even the first half.
I saw
under,
that crazy. Yeah. I think it was not like 10-7 or something. It was
crazy.
It
was something super crazy. And that's just the variance of the 3-point shot in the WNBA. When teams are making shots, they go up and over the total. But when they're missing, it's going to be always, a little bit more towards the under. So I like the under here. Like I said, this one it opened at 159. I saw it go up to 161, but now the money's look like it's coming back down. I see some 159s out there, 160s. I like the under 160 here.
Under 160. And a lean towards Connecticut.
Yeah, I would be playing Connecticut, thinking there's a little bit of flat spot for Atlanta coming off that big win.
All right, so under 160. Our poll is definitely leaning towards Connecticut. Let's move on to the next one. Sparks at Mercury.
Ugliest game in the W today. We have.
The Mercury laying 4.5 with no Brittany Griner is kind of just crazy.
Yeah, and they're also the 10th rated defensive team in the WNBA. This is their first game back home after a 3-game road trip. They've lost 4 games in a row. They failed to cover the number. They only 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. But the Sparks, I was talking about this game on my show. I said, if you like the Sparks, which I definitely like the Sparks in this spot. I haven't bet them, but the Sparks are ugly play. This is a young team that turns the ball over a lot. I think that they will play hard for Kurt Miller in this spot. But they're projected to be, one of the worst teams in the WNBA. I just can't lay with the Phoenix Mercury, especially being the first game back home, third game in 4 nights. They did get smoked in their last game as well against the Lynx. They lost that game outright by 24 points as a 7-point dog the other day. But there's no way I'm laying points in this spot. They not only with Brittany Griner being out, but no Rebecca Allen, who really means a lot defensively for this team. And I think LA got enough to keep this one within the number. I'm not laying 2 possessions with the Phoenix Mercury against anybody. The thing here, though, Kyle, and I'll go back to the 3-point variance. That's what the Sparks want to do. That's what the Mercury want to do without Brittany Griner being there. This team is first in 3-point attempts, 3-point field goal percentage, and 3-point makes. So if the Sparks will have to limit that. Kalia Copper, Sophia Cunningham, they really just want to go out there and shoot a bunch of threes. And the Sparks are like middle of the pack. They're like 5th defensively against the 3-point shot as far as attempts. And as far as makes, they're like 5th or 6th as well. So it's really just going to be dependent upon the 3-point shot. I think that the Sparks defense shows up in this spot. This would be another game that I would be looking towards the under on, because the Sparks aren't great offensively either. They really struggle to score the basketball. Even though the Mercury playing at the second fastest pace, I think that if they're going to keep this game close, it's going to have to be with their defense here. So I would be looking towards the under. But I'm this close to betting the Sparks plus 4.5.
I thought you were going Sparks. That's why I even put the graphic up.
That's the only way that I would be looking if I was to play. I just haven't played it yet. You got some time, but I'm only looking towards the Sparks in this game.
Yeah, I thought the Sparks were turning things around, but then when I had your show on for a few minutes this morning, and I looked, and they still lost 3 of their last 4. Why do I feel like they've won a couple games recently? I guess it was just the one.
They beat the Fever, yeah. But I will say in the last game against the Sky, I wasn't ready to lay points with the Sky, but Kurt Miller, who's their head coach, he missed that game. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I think, for the MAC, for some college stuff. But he'll be back in this game. And this does feel like a game that the Sparks will be able to keep close. Also, I forgot to mention this, Kyle, De'Erica Hamby. Somebody compared her to Julius Randle earlier on my show. She is an absolute bucket. Yeah, she's a dog. She's an absolute dog. Her points plus rebounds is 30.5 today. Definitely something that I will be playing. I haven't played it yet. You can't even get those lines on most books, but if you have access to FanDuel, only place I saw you could play it. She's gone over in 5 of the 7 games that they played so far. She's the biggest part of the offense for the Sparks. And, she would probably be in the early MVP conversations if the Sparks could actually win some games. So with them just being 2-5, not as much, but I mean, she's doing everything. She had like a 30 and 19-point game. She's gone over her rebounds at 11.5, I think, in 5 of the 7 games as well. She's Josh Hart too, Cal, because she's only missed 3 minutes in the last 3 games so far. She has a 40-minute game,
plays the whole
39 game. Yeah, 40 minutes, 39 and 38 in her last 3 games. So Kurt Miller's definitely leaving her out there. So I like her to go over on her points plus rebounds as well, especially with no Brittany Griner in the Mercury playing at the second fastest pace.
And what's her name?
Her name is De'Erica Hamby.
Hamby over. There you go.
Over 30.5 points plus rebounds.
Over 30.5 PNR. All right,
PNR,
next game. We have it's Caitlin Clark time. Fever on the road. I feel like the Fever has played New York 4 times already.
3. You're close.
This is the 3rd?
Yeah, this is the 3rd. Yep, this is the 3rd.
I swear it feels like they've already been 3. So
yep. This is the third one.
Didn't the Fever cover both of them, but they lost but covered?
So game 2 of the season for the Fever was their first home game, and they got smoked. The Liberty actually was their only cover of the whole season. They beat them by 36 points, beat them 102-36 in Indiana. But since then they have not covered a number. This Liberty team, for whatever reason, they just can't cover. They're 1-7 against the spread.
So 7 losses in a row against the number. 7
ATS losses in a row. It's a terrible spot for the Fever here. Second leg of a back-to-back, emotional win yesterday. I'm not laying 15 with the Liberty though. I tell you that for sure. Right. I think if you want to play this game, the Fever could run out of gas late. If you want to play the game, you want to play Liberty early. I know that doesn't really make sense with the Fever potentially running out of gas late, but they've been the best first quarter team all season. First quarter team total over 23.5. Oh. They're averaging 29 in the 2 games so far against this same Fever team. Fever will be without Timmy Bagley, who's their best post defender. And like I said, Liberty been the best first quarter team. They're averaging 26.5 points per game in the first quarter. And the Fever, off that emotional, first home win of the season yesterday, definitely feels like a flat spot here. And I think that for whatever, like I said, the Liberty, I think they averaged like 36 points in the second quarter and third quarter combined, but they scored 27 in the first quarter. It's about like they're like 3 points more than any other team in the first quarter. So I like them to kind of keep that going. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think that they can score against this Fever team today.
What's their record to this number, 23.5? Do you know offhand?
No, but I think they've gotten to every single game except one. I think the Chicago game they didn't score. That was the only game they didn't score in the first quarter. But yeah, they would I don't know. Then they just go flat.
An estimated 7-1 above of going over their team total in the first quarter.
Yeah, if not 6-2. Yeah, this has been a cash cow. But then they just fade out the rest of the game for whatever reason.
Our poll is coming in heavy on the Fever. I'm wondering, is that a fade of the 1-7 against the spread Liberty, or is that Caitlin Clark just got to win? We're all jumping on. It's maybe a little bit of both.
Well, I will say this, guy. This is one of the reasons why I didn't play the game. I think 15 is a big number, and I said this the other day. I didn't think that I thought the Mystics could get blown out in that game, and the Mystics could have almost won that game. And the same thing with the Connecticut. With the Phoenix Mercury a couple games before that. For whatever reason, like I said, the Liberties haven't been able to put it together. But when we talked about this a couple days ago, guy, the odds, the schedule makers have not been kind to this Indiana Fever team. After this game, though, however, they do get a big break. Like, I don't think they have a game. They may have like 2 games this week, whereas they've been averaging like 3 games, sometimes even 4 games throughout. And they played much more games than any other team in the WNBA. It hasn't even really been close. So if they ran out of gas late in this spot, it wouldn't surprise me. However, I will say this. Coach Christy Sides has done a much better job of using Caitlin Clark in different ways, like of not having her bring the ball up the court. Like, they're trying to do like more off-ball stuff with her where she's coming off picks, and then she can kind of be a decision maker, whether she wants to shoot the shot or pass it to Aaliyah Boston in the short roll, which has been helpful so far. And I think that was one of the biggest reasons why they were able to win that game against Chicago yesterday, because Christy Sides put her in, some much different action. So I would still be taking the plus 15 if I had to play it, but I'll ride with New York in the first quarter here, just over their team total, staying away from the spread in this one.
All right. Well, we're moving on to the last game, and quick question. How do you lay 7 points to the Wings, man? I know Minnesota's a machine right now, but the Wings, as you said last time you were on, I remembered one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA, and we just saw that was against the Aces. They almost won outright.
Connecticut.
Oh, it's against Connecticut. Team. Yeah. So I not knowing much about these teams, just how do you lay 7 points to Dallas?
I'm not doing so. I think so. Minnesota was not projected to do this well, and they have been really great. Outside of that hiccup that they had against the Aces, where the Aces came in there and just beat them by 14 points, where they were 3-point home dogs. They've looked really good. They're 5-2 straight up, 6-1 against the number. But I'm not betting against this Wings team. Here's the thing about the Wings, though, Kyle. Is you could say that it's a fatigue spot, because it is the 5th game and last game of a 5-game road trip for them when you look at it situationally. But before they played on Friday against Connecticut, they literally had been off since Sunday. So, like, I don't think it's that much of a fatigue spot. I know it's the last game of a road trip, and they haven't been home, I don't think, since the 18th of May. So, you could see them kind of run out of gas late in this spot. And that, when you take that into conjunction with the Lynx defense, being the number 1 rated defensive team, they also like number 1 or 2 offensive rating as well. That's the way that you get to Minnesota. But I'm with you. I'm not betting against the Wings, only plus I saw it go to 8, and I hope it jumps back up to 8 so I can get in, but I'll take the plus 7.5 here as well. I haven't bet this one yet, but I will be. You mentioned it. Dallas is great on the offensive glass. They're number 1 on the glass. They're number 1 in offensive rebounding. They're number 1 in second chance points as well. And a Minnesota team that's kind of average in those departments. They give up the 5th most offensive rebounds. They give up the 6th most opponent second chance points. And they're coming off a 24-point win against the Phoenix Mercury as a 7-point favorite. Whereas the Wings are coming off a 2-point loss in a game that they could have won. Enrique Agumbawale's shot went in and out. It was a really good shot, and they could have stole one against Connecticut. So I know that it's a super fatigue spot for the Wings here, but if I can get them plus 4 possessions, I got to take it, because they have covered 5 in a row, and I think that can continue tonight here. With how they play basketball, they're going to continue to play hard for Coach Trammell as well.
All right, so Dallas plus the points. And this graphic says 6.5, but it's 7.5. So when Andy made this graphic, it must have been 6.5. It's not. You can get 7.5 out there. All right. So,
also, really kick out the under in this game. You got a Minnesota team that is the 2nd-rated defensive team in the W. They really hung their hats on that. Both of these teams play fast. Like that, that is a tad bit scary to want to take an under on, but we just saw Dallas go into Connecticut and go under in that game, and that's a really good Connecticut offense on the other side. And both of these teams, like I said, are really good defensively. I do think all you need in the W is like 1 15-point quarter from either team, and I know that the total is going the opposite way at 164.5 now. It opened at 162, but both of these teams play really great defensively. You expect the Lynx to continue to play good defensively and the Wings to potentially run out of gas on offense in this game and it to be a lower scoring game. I think that's the way that I would look. I'm gonna be on both, guy, on the plus the points, and I'm probably gonna split it. Dallas plus 7.5, or maybe an 8 if it pops up, and I'll take the under 165 in this game as well.
Dallas plus the points and the under at 164. And perfect timing. It is 11:31, so it is time for some baseball. Make sure you guys give Chris a follow. That's his Twitter right there, Chris Be Cappin. Appreciate you taking the time to come on, man. I will go enjoy your Sunday. I'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. Let's do it, Kyle. Best of luck to the community, man. And best of luck on all the MLB action today, too.
Yes, sir.
All right.
There's Toast. Yeah, I know. Toast, I just put him on now. Toast said he's a little groggy this morning. So I do have some bets. I have 5 bets open, so you don't have to carry the show. I have some things I'd like to say.
Oh, I always carry the show, baby.
Twins on the road at Houston is first. And to me, this one...
I was just looking at this game.
I was looking at it last night, and this just feels like the ultimate coin flip in all directions here. First of all, Woods Richardson's been pretty good. He doesn't really go deep into games, but he's pitched well. He's been serviceable as a starter. As far as Houston getting to righties, flip a coin, man. They could put up 9 or they could get blanked. And as far as Houston at home, for a while they weren't hitting. Now they kind of are. And so on that side, just feels like a coin flip. And then on the other side, Hunter Brown, all of a sudden pitching pretty well. And Minnesota's bats looked like they were waking up from that cold streak. This one felt way too coin flippy to me. If you put a gun to my head and force me to bet it, I probably would go here because of the price, but I'm not betting this. It'd be Twins or pass, but it's just a pass.
So essentially the same exact thoughts. I was waiting till this morning. I'm probably going to end up making here's why it's holding me back is that I hate playing the Twins during the day. Like that's just something that it's just in me.
They punt in their day games.
Yes. So it's just part of me is like that. But there's also a big part of me that says, well, a lot of those guys are gone and you're not going to have Correa in the lineup today. It's just hard. Correa's been pretty good for them lately as well. He had a couple big hits yesterday. So without Correa in the lineup, because he will not be playing today, I can assure you that it's going to suck. Correa's on a 4-game hitting streak, or 4 of his last 5 games and whatever. So that's a pretty big veteran bat and your shortstop out of the lineup. So it'd be Twins or pass, but probably won't get to the window with it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like either of us really like this game. Our community's leaning towards the Twins, 54%, 37%. So not overwhelming. Leaning towards the Twins, but there's some people betting Houston also. Next game, Detroit-Boston, and we were talking about this one in the Discord last night, and I feel like we missed the number on this one. If I would have liked to have got in at Boston early at that minus 128. Now it's up at minus 142, minus 145. So this to me, it feels like a Boston spot. Oh shit, sorry about that. Let's get my bad. All right, so this to me feels like a Boston spot. You got the Tigers immediately fly down to Texas for a series against the Rangers tomorrow. It seems like a nice spot for Bayo against the Tigers lineup that's trending downwards. Tigers had been red hot. I bet them twice and took 2 losses on what seems to be their downslide, and it seems like Boston's lineup is doing the exact opposite. So it seems like the stock in Boston's lineup is doing this, and that the stock in the Tigers lineup is doing this. I like Bayo to bounce back and pitch well. The reason I didn't bet it, one, by the time I looked at it, it was already, when I was looking at this last night, it was like minus 147, minus 148. I saw minus 150s out there for Boston. So when I was looking at it, the price was already gone. That's number one. And number two, Casey Mize actually has really dominant numbers against lefty bats, which with no Tyler O'Neill, Boston's lineup is primarily lefty bats. But here's the thing. I said the same thing about Reese Olson yesterday, and Boston was able to get a few runs across on him. So it would be Boston or pass. But if I got in early, I would have played Boston at minus 128. But at this price, it's a pass.
Yeah, I disagree. I think all the values on Detroit here. I understand that they've lost 2 out of their last 3 here. But like like Saw said, Casey Mize should be able to pitch pretty well in this spot as far as like you talked about with the splits are concerned. Not to mention the fact that he's had he hasn't pitched on the road too much. He had a really good start in Minnesota, and then he had on the road where he went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and no runs, and then back-to-back bad starts on the road. But caveat, one of those starts was the Yankees, on the road at the Yankees. It's kind of hard to fault them to getting hit up. Obviously, the Yankees are hitting up everybody. And then the other one was a couple weeks ago against Kansas City when Kansas City was on their hot run at home as well. So both of those starts, and he only went 1 1/3 innings that Kansas City start. It was really, really bad. But I expect Casey Mize to pitch well here on the road here today. There's just no way in hell I would lay that price with Boston here. So I don't know if I get to the window with it. I'm probably going to sprinkle it a little bit somehow. It's one of those ones where I was waiting to see what the line was this morning. And so if I can get that 130 number comfortably, I'll probably end up putting a couple shekels on it.
Look, Casey Mize does have really impressive numbers against lefties, and Boston is lefty heavy. So I can get there. And I like Casey Mize. I just feel like the lineups as a whole, I feel like in 2 weeks we're going to look back and Boston's going to be the better lineup. Like right now, Detroit's been significantly better, but I feel like that's skewing it a bit.
I like that Mark Canna's back in the lineup today too. That helps. He's been out. I'll take, little things help me.
Wow, our community's heavy on Boston there. I was not expecting that.
All right.
62%, 20. Really? I guess everyone bailed on the Tigers.
Here comes that Tigers bet. Engaged.
Because the last 2 days, Tigers were a very public dog, myself included. Yesterday they were short favorites, but so everyone bailed. Everyone bailed on the Tigers, including me. All right, so Oakland plus 200 on the road in Atlanta, and Toast, I don't give a shit what happened yesterday. I know you're probably going to take Oakland. I think Charlie Morton's going to deal.
No, I'm not taking Oakland again. I got I think twice in the last couple
You
days.
won yesterday, though.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I've hit like 2 or 3 plus 250 or plus dogs in the last 2 or 3 days. Like, I'm not going to keep on baiting the books to take my money away. So, I'm not. There's no part of me that wants to play on Oakland today. If you score. If you have an 8 or a 9 run lead and then lose the first 5, they cashed for me, but that was one of the sweatiest big dogs I've ever played in my life. So, and now that you have this Atlanta team that just busted out for 9 runs in a Charlie Morton situation where I understand he hasn't seen this team in a long time, but the 2 times that he's seen him back in the day, he absolutely blanked this team. Again, I just have a hard time believing that Charlie Morton, as much as I talk shit about him sometimes, it's more of like a pride thing for me. I have a hard time believing that Charlie Morton comes out here and just gets absolutely rocked in back-to-back starts at home versus the Nationals and the Athletics. So, yeah, I 100% agree with you. It'd be Braves minus 1.5 or pass.
Yep, same. I'll put that up for me. And Charlie Morton, 3 starts in a row, he's been a little shaky. But if you rewind before that, he was having an excellent season, like his best season in recent years. So at home against, let's not forget, Oakland put up a bunch of runs yesterday, but this has been one of the worst road lineups in baseball all season. So I really like the spot for Charlie Morton to bounce back. And here's why I didn't actually bet it. I don't know what my thoughts are on Medina, because obviously he was pretty trash last year, if we're being honest. But I didn't realize that Medina's a kid. He's only 24, 25 years old. So sometimes you get a judgment of a pitcher in your head, and you don't even realize you're making that judgment on a developing arm. So this is his first start of the season. He was with the club all year last year. Didn't really pitch well, but I think he's 25. So who knows? Maybe this is the year he takes the next step. So in his first start, it's a pass for me.
I actually wouldn't mind an under either, under 9. I know it was at 9.5, and it's at 9 now. Another thing just about that Medina kid, this is a really big spot for him. So I could really see him pitching well or getting shelled. But if that total moves down from 8.5 or from 9.5 to 9, that tells me the books probably think he's all right. So yeah, I'd lean under as well if you're not trying to lay a big price with the Braves.
Yeah, I could see that under.
Especially after yesterday.
Yeah. They scored 150 runs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game. Tampa Bay, Baltimore. Oh, man, everyone's going to hate me on this one.
Did you bet him?
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone's going to hate me. All right, so first of all, I haven't been fading Baltimore a lot. I've even bet them recently, so I don't want everyone to think I'm just blindly fading Baltimore. I bet the Rays here. It was 123 on Bet Rivers. All right. So Cole Irvin on the mound. He's been good as hell. The Rays absolutely smashed the last two lefties they saw. They saw Nestor Cortez, Jose Quintana, rock them both. So that's a start.
That was over a month span, just for the record.
Yeah, but okay. But in the same breath, you could be like, when's the last time a lefty starter pitched well against the Rays? It's like 5 weeks ago. So they crushed the last two lefties. The lefties I'm saying I can use that same argument the other way. They crushed the last two lefties they saw. Baltimore immediately after this game flies up to Toronto for a series against the Blue Jays, another division series. Tampa's off tomorrow. So spot-wise, it's nice for Tampa. Littell has been dealing. He's been pitching really well. Now, I am a little bit worried that he struggled in his last road start. So on the road to Baltimore is obviously tough. But I'm just playing Tampa in a Tampa spot. I know everyone's going to be on Baltimore here. I'm willing to hop on a Rays island.
I don't disagree. I disagree about the lefties part. I don't really worry about them that much. I think that they're playing with a little bit more confidence than they were previous earlier in the year. But at the same time, I mean, those lefties.
I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. O's bullpen.
Yes.
Did you look at it?
Yes, that was what I was.
They're missing 3 of their 4 main arms, Baltimore. So bullpen-wise, Orioles are very limited today.
Yeah, very limited. The lefties that Oakland hit up were Hogan Harris and who was the other guy? Nestor Cortez. And that was May 11th and May 30th. So it's been a lot of time between that. But anyway, you guys saw me yesterday. I was on the Rays' first 5 in full game. That hurt. It hurt a lot to score 5 runs in the first 3 or 4 innings and not hit either one of those bets. But I agree with Sauce. It's Rays or pass. There's no way in hell I lay this with Cole Irvin. And I understand that Cole Irvin has, 5 of his last 6 hasn't given up a run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of his last 5 starts hasn't given up a run. It's just like yesterday with Oakland. I just don't see them pitching like that. Like I said with Chris Sale, I just don't see them pitching at that level for a long time. On top of the fact that Cole Irvin is a guy that struggles to get past the 5th inning. Which brings up Sauce's point to Baltimore's bullpen when you have Cano, Webb, Perez all going back-to-back days. So yeah, it'd be Rays or pass. I don't know if I actually get there. Yesterday still hurts.
I am on the Rays, by the way. Bet it, put it on the site. I'm in. So
you can only get like plus 105, plus 110 now. So I mean, the
really?
Numbers, yeah.
I posted it at plus 123. All right.
Best is you're going to get is 110 right now. Very best.
Pittsburgh on the road at Toronto. I couldn't figure out how to bet this, but I do have an opinion on it.
Shout out Pirates, first 5 in full game.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was just a lean for me. I didn't actually bet it, but you did. So good shit there. Good hit. I think Priester's about to pitch well. So I do have I have this graphic ready. I didn't actually bet it, and I was close. If I have 5 bets posted for the day, if there was a 6th, it probably would be this one. Toronto team total under 4.5. First of all, we always know Toronto's good to just blank against a righty. We've seen it so many times. But to take it a step further, hold on. Let me actually pull up the numbers. So first of all, you guys know I like Priester. He's a kid. I think he's going to be a very good starter. And there's one thing. 1 second. Okay.
No.
So Priester against. Where is it? I'm sorry. I just want to give you the correct numbers. Priester against lefties. Terrible. Priester against righty bats. Very good. 108 whip and a 276 expected FIP against righty bats. You want to know how many righties are projected to be in the lineup for Toronto today? Let's go ahead and pull it up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. So Priester, in fact, one sec, guys. I actually want to show you this because I want you guys to see. Because it makes a lot more sense when you can see it. Oh, no. This one. Okay. So here's Quinn Priester. Here's his splits against lefties and righties. Look at this. Struggles against lefty bats. Great numbers against righties. 108 whip, 276 expected FIP. This is excellent numbers against righty bats. Blue Jays lineup. Look at all these righties. Righty, 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 righty. They got Vogelback, a lefty. Righty, righty, Varsho, righty. So Vogelback and Varsho, only two. And that's confirmed. That is their lineup. That's not a projected lineup. So I think Priester's going to deal. The thing is, I don't really trust the Pirates lineup enough. And Bassett has burnt me a couple times. I tried fading Bassett and lost this year. So I really don't want to try to take a stab at what we're going to see out of Bassett. I think there's a lot of variance there. I think Bassett could potentially get rocked. I also think he could throw 7 shutout. So I just feel most comfortable right here. Toronto team total under 4.5.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I guess really simply, there's no way in hell I pay minus 175 for the Rays or for the Jays or lay minus 1.5 with them at home. My issue with like trying to bet Pittsburgh again is I don't disagree with Sauce. I like Quinn Priester as well. I think that he hasn't pitched like phenomenal. But I also think that, like Sauce said, he's a kid. But my thing is with Chris Bassett, hasn't given up a run in back-to-back starts. 12 innings, has, like I said, no runs. But both of those starts were against the White Sox. His last start at home, the last 2 starts at home previous to that. Sorry, 3 starts at home previous to that. Against the Rays, he went 5 2/3, gave up 3. Against the Royals, 6 innings, gave up 3. Against the Dodgers, 2 2/3, gave up 7. So this Chris Bassett that we always talk about, we want to bet him at home, hasn't even been the dominant person unless he's pitching against the White Sox, which we all know doesn't mean anything. He did pitch against this Pittsburgh lineup last year and the year before that, went 13 total innings, didn't give up a run at all. If I had to play this game, it'd be first 5 under 4.5 or under 8. I don't think that either lineup really is in a good position to score at this point, but I don't know if I actually bet it. But yeah, official would be first 5 under 4.5. I think both offenses struggle today.
All right. So our community slightly leaning towards Toronto, 46%, 39% in favor of the Blue Jays. So community's leaning towards the Jays. Let's move on to the next one. Snakes Mets in a series. Man, good luck trying to make a prediction in this series. What in the hell? It's like just trading blowout wins.
I mean, yeah.
So I skipped it. I don't know. Every single aspect of this game has extremely high variance. Quintana can deal. He also could be the worst pitcher in baseball. The Mets lineup could score 15 runs. They also could be held to 2 hits. Brandon Pfaadt, we've seen him be excellent. He was one of the best pitchers in the playoffs last year. He could deal. He could also get lit up like nobody else. There's just so many. There's way too many. There's way too big of a scale that this game can land on. This is a straight pass for me.
I mean, it's gross, but I kind of like the Mets. We know if there's one thing that we do know about Arizona is what? They can't hit left-handed pitching to save their life.
But they just did, right? Manaea, did they get to him yesterday? What was this? Let me see.
I mean, my point, though, being is that even with one, yes, they
as a whole, they haven't been. Yes.
But yes, they hit up Mr. Overrated who got a haircut. Congratulations. You hit up Sean Manaea. Jesus. Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyway.
Manaea's been pretty good, man. Cut him some slack.
No, I know. It sucks. I can't even call him Mr. Overrated anymore. But honestly, I'm not going to let one game change that. Again, I'm not saying that I haven't even bet the Mets yet, but I feel like at minus 105 and most people not giving you plus money, that's usually a little bit of a sign. Brandon Pfaadt's kind of working off his name, off of what he did in the playoffs last year. I mean, his last 3 road starts on the road at Baltimore, 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. On the road at the Dodgers, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. On the road at Texas, again, a Texas team that's not that good, 7 innings, 6 hits, and 4 runs. So, does Arizona have a little bit of a pitching advantage? Yeah, but then if you flip it over to the bullpens, the Mets have a full rested bullpen. I'm well aware how fucking bad they are. I get that. I'm just saying they're rested and ready to go. Arizona Seawald worked yesterday. It was 3 pitches. I get that, but their middle relievers worked a lot yesterday. it's a coin flip. I just feel like the Mets aren't getting plus money for a reason. So I lean Mets. I don't know if I actually bet it.
All right. Well, community disagrees with you. Community is 53%, 25% Arizona. So viewership is on the Snakes here. This is a pass for me. Straight pass.
Yeah, I'm good.
I got a bet in this one, and actually, we're on the same thing.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. So I texted Andy, and when he was making the graphics, I was like, yo, make sure you go check Toast's post on the website to make sure you get all his picks. And he goes, I did. He's got the same one as you. So you're on the Nats first 5, right?
Yeah. I just...
Yep. So, I bet this last night. I got it at 118, but it didn't really, I don't think it really moved, right? It's still around the same price?
Yeah, you can get, let's see here. Oh, no, it moved a lot.
What? Really?
Okay, so first 5 on FanDuel, first 5, the Nats are minus 112.
What?
Yes.
I got it at plus 118.
On DK, it's plus 100. On BetMGM, it's plus 105. If you have Bet365, it's still plus 115. But clearly, Sauce and I got the best number. I am shocked that it's that big.
Well, hopefully, if you're in the Discord and got that last night, you got it at the plus money.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
But as far as the reasoning, it's pretty simple here. I mean, so Jake Irvin's been pitching really well. I mean, we're playing the first 5 money line, and my whole thing was based on we're getting a plus price. I guess that's not really a thing anymore. But we have the significant starting and pitching advantage here. Jake Irvin's been really good. Carlos Carrasco has really struggled. I actually had something deeper about this game that I liked. Let me pull up my spreadsheet because I don't have it written down in front of me. But hold on. But
I thought you were talking about like emotionally.
No, it's not that deep. Was there something about Carrasco? Maybe Carrasco really struggles against lefties. Is that a thing? I forget what it was. But we have. I'm sorry. I should have written it down, but I really like the Nats here with the significant starting and pitching advantage, and I got it at plus money.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at as well. This Washington team continues to find ways to play good baseball. I'm trying to find the Washington lineup right now, or the Washington lineup. So I think what you were seeing with Carrasco is his whip against righties. Maybe that's not it. I don't know. Either way, regardless, I feel like I have a pitching advantage.
I got it. Okay. So, you know what? I want to put it up on the screen. Sorry about that. A little disorganized.
No, it's frustrating because when you want to say
something.
something.
I knew there was something good.
Yeah.
So, all right. Carlos Carrasco, look at his numbers against lefties here. 383 WOBA, 185 whip, almost 2 base runners per inning against lefties. Ready for the Nats lineup today? Confirmed. Lefty. You got ready. Lefty, 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 lefty. So 6 lefties in that lineup against Carrasco, who, by the way, Carrasco hasn't pitched in 2.5, 3 weeks. So he's going to be a little rusty, and he was pitching terribly before. So I like the matchup for the Nats bats, and Jake Irvin's been really good. So, yeah, I'm on the Nats first 5. Oh, the reason that I'm not playing the full game is I don't really like the spot for the Nationals because right after this, they immediately fly back home to play the Mets, which is obviously a much more important series for them. Cleveland's got off. So I thought the first 5 at the plus money was a little bit safer than the full game, but I do like the Nats to win the game also.
Yeah, so same thing as me. I guess for one, I didn't want to play full game against Cleveland. Because I was a little bit worried about that because they are going to use everybody. Like, for instance, if you guys see Class A, I know the screen's not pulled up, but he has 8 and 13 pitches. That for Class A, that's nothing. He is 100% available today. He's not like most relievers. So I just wanted to throw that out there for people so they understand. But as far as the Nats are concerned, look at the Nats just not as a team, just individually against Carlos Carrasco. A lot of these guys have really good numbers. I mean, Jesse Winker's 4 for 10 with 2 doubles and a homer against him. Eddie Rosario 14 for 30 with a 1.0 OPS. Is 1 dot in this dude. Riley Adams 9 for 5 with 1.188 OPS against Cookie Carrasco. Joey Gallo's got a couple bombs against him. Luis Garcia 9 for 5 against him. Joey Meneses 2 for 6. Lane Thomas 3 for 5. The only person in this lineup that hasn't got to eat the cookie is CJ Abrams. And you know that's at times only a matter of time. He had the day off yesterday. I think CJ has a good day today. And as Sauce said, Jake Irvin has been essentially very, very good for Washington. I mean, the only times that he's looked bad is on the road at Philadelphia. Can't fault him for that. And he had one bad start at home against Toronto where they kind of got to him. The Dodgers got to him a little bit. It is what it is. But Jake Irvin has been very, very good for the Nats. So I understand he's 2-5 with a 3.43 ERA. But he's been really, really good for them, and I trust him. So I'll take my chances at a big plus price. Obviously, it's changed a little bit. I don't even understand how it's that big of a difference, but yeah. Nats all the way. I actually don't hate the Nats full game if you wanted to play like that, because Cleveland is Class A, Gaddis have went back-to-back days, so it's not the best. But I agree with Sauce. I don't like the spot too much for National.
Yeah, I mean, the series against the Mets, who is much more important. The Nats are still in wild card discussions.
I was just about to say that. The Nats are fighting for a wild card spot. Those games versus the Mets mean something.
Are huge, because that's potentially a team they could be fighting with in a couple months. All right, Texas on the road in Miami. Really pissed at myself because I lost with the Rangers on Friday. I liked the Rangers yesterday, didn't bet them. And, of course, they get the win. I did look at this game, but let me pull up my spreadsheet to see what my notes were. Toast, did you have anything in this one?
Nope. I don't know how to do this Texas team. I really don't.
I don't know how to do them.
It's just sometimes you just don't get a read on good teams. At least for me, I'm not going to be betting on Texas. Like I said, I thought Friday was a really good spot. They got throttled, and they come back and play well today. It just kind of feels like that's what you're going to get from Texas from here on out. They might look really, really good for a couple of days, and then they're going to revert back to what we've seen earlier in the year. Again, Andrew Heaney, I actually don't worry about Andrew Heaney too much. I understand his last couple starts have looked really bad, but who are those starts against? LA Angels, what do? What does Prop Beaver taught us? They smoke lefties. And then Philadelphia Phillies at Philly, self-explanatory. So I don't really put too much into those last two starts. His previous starts before that looked really good on the road at Colorado, on the road at Oakland, at home against Washington. I guess Seattle scored 4 runs against him, but
only 5 hits in 6 innings, though. That's solid.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't really think that Andrew Heaney's actually pitching that bad. So it would be Texas or pass for me, just because Trevor Rogers is a gas can that's just waiting to blow up on the mound.
I think Trevor Rogers might pitch well, man. And
he might. I'm not betting the game. I'm not a fan of Trevor Rogers. I used to be a huge Trevor Rogers guy. It's just not there. So I can't. Yeah, no way.
My lean would be here, under or pass. Trevor Rogers, if you look at his game logs, I have them. You know what? I could pull them up. Screw it. It's not that important. But he actually has a couple really nice starts recently. The Padres, the Tigers. Texas hasn't been hitting lefties. It's under a pass.
Hey, Sauce, what's the common denominator with all the good
They're
starts
on the road?
Starts?
Yep. He hasn't pitched well at home, but Padres Royals. We're on the same side here.
Yep. I love this.
Yeah, I really like it too. Is it really minus 135 now?
Yeah. Yes.
Damn it. Well,
no. It's back down. It's back down to that
good.
125 area. It's going up and down.
All right, so I got in at minus 120. So in case you're not in the Discord or don't follow us, we're both on the Royals here. You want to go ahead, Toast, to give your Royals spiel?
Yeah. Padres have won back-to-back days, and I made this bet yesterday as soon as the 9th inning started and I saw Robert Suarez on the mound for the Padres in a non-closed situation. I knew I was going to be making this bet because the Padres bullpen is absolutely gassed right now. Suarez has went back-to-back days, including 18 pitches yesterday. Jeremy Estrada, the next coming of Jesus Christ, went 32 pitches yesterday. He's probably not going to be available today. Wandy Peralta, back-to-back days. Morgeron went 22 yesterday. The Padres bullpen is absolutely taxed, and you have a Kansas City bullpen that's essentially rested and ready to go. What do we know about the Padres? They can smash righties, but when they see a left-handed pitcher, they get absolutely blanked. And guess what hand Cole Reagan throws with? His left. His last 2 starts at home for Cole Reagan's against Detroit, Oakland. Hell, we'll throw in Milwaukee in there as well. 19 total innings. Only 4 hits, maybe 5, and 2 runs total with 27 strikeouts. So he's been essentially very, very good at home, almost one might say dominant at home with the rested bullpen behind him. Michael King, on the other hand, I guess he's only had 3 road starts in his last 7 starts. One of them in Colorado didn't really look good, but it's Colorado. He looked good against Arizona. Who doesn't look good against Arizona? And then he went 6 2/3 against Cincinnati and gave up 3 runs. But previous to that, Colorado hit him up at home as well. He looked good against Miami, but Miami can do that to teams. We all know how well Kansas City plays at home, 21-10 on the road. They've lost back-to-back games. I think this is a very, very good spot to play the Royals. So I played the Royals on the money line at -120. I also played Royals -1.5 at +150.
Yeah, I won't repeat a lot of that because a lot of that's the same reason I'm on. Something he didn't mention, Padres also immediately fly to LA to play the Angels tomorrow. Royals are off, so this is a getaway day for the Padres. It's not for Kansas City, so you got a getaway day for a San Diego team that already won this series. They took the first 2. They won this series.
That's why I bet it so fast.
Yeah. So in my opinion, the Royals had the advantage in all 3 major aspects of the game. They're the bats because they're up against a righty at home rather than the Padres on the road against a lefty. The bullpen because they're much more rested, and Reagan's is better than Michael King, and he's a lefty, which the Padres. So yeah, Royals all the way here. All right. Next up, we got White Sox Brewers. I want to do it.
I was thinking team total, but I get it. Whatever, you're right. I know what you're gonna say. I haven't talked to you, but I figured I have a feeling.
So okay, I this isn't on my ticket. I didn't bet this yet,
but I know you.
I do think this might be a White Sox spot. Now, all right. So you got the Brewers, right? Tomorrow, they after this game, they immediately fly out for a much more important series in Philadelphia tomorrow. So this is a home game against a bad AL team, a completely other league. This is not a very unimportant game for the Brewers against a team they just beat twice. And then tomorrow, one of the bigger series of the month for them starts in Philly. This is a huge series for the Brewers starting tomorrow. They're not going to want to use their most important bullpen arms if they don't have to. These are the type of games that these bad teams can steal. Road getaway games against teams that just beat them twice. Ask the Marlins about that. They're 8-2 in those spots. When these getaway games, the Brewers already beat them twice. They're already looking ahead to Philly tomorrow. By the way, the White Sox are off tomorrow. I think it's a White Sox spot. Now, as far as on the baseball field, there's not many points you can make for the White Sox. I mean, Nastrini sucks. Freddie Peralta at home. There's not many points you can make for the White Sox. But spot-wise, it's a beautiful spot to bet the White Sox. So I didn't bet it yet, but I think I want to.
Let me see who the White Sox are going to play instead of Andrew Benintendi. Let's see. Well, he got hurt yesterday, so now it's like another different guy out there. My lean is White Sox team total over 2.5 at -105. I'm not in a spot where I trust Freddie Peralta right now. I understand that he's looked good his last 2 starts. On the road at Miami, went 7 innings, gave up 1 run, and then against the Cubs, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 11 strikeouts. I could look dumb saying this, but I actually kind of think this is a bad spot for Freddie Peralta. I especially after what Sauce just talked about them having to go on the road. I can see this as like a sleepy spot where, again, I understand how bad the White Sox are. I get that. But keep in mind, before those last 2 starts, Freddie Peralta gave up 5 to Houston, 3 to St. Louis, 3 to the Cubs, 5 to Pittsburgh, 2 to the Rays. I mean, he hasn't been his dominant self or the guy that we thought that he would be coming into this year as well. So hit this number in both. I mean, we went over this number in both games they played against the Brewers this year. So are in this series. So again, it's a small number for a reason, but that's the only way I would look at it. Yeah, that's it.
I think I'm going to bet it.
So also Milwaukee used McGill yesterday, Pagero 2 of the last 3 days, Piamps 2 of the last 3 days.
McGill's not 100% either. He's banged up.
I know he's coming off the energy. He's not available. I doubt that he's available today. Hobie Milner. God damn it. Now I have to bet. All right. White Sox team total over 2.5.
Nah, take the money line, bro. Believe.
Nah, they'll lose.
No, they'll lose.
Because if they score 3 and lose, I'll be so mad.
All right, so Reds, Cubs, and Wrigley. This is a really okay. So I looked at this game because I wanted to bet it. It's Lodolo versus Ben Brown, this NL Central game. I wanted to bet this game. So I actually spent probably like 15, 20 minutes looking at this. In that time, there was about 5 minutes of my handicap where I was liking the Cubs. There was about 5 minutes where I was liking the Reds. There was 5 minutes where I was on the under, and there was 5 minutes where I was on the over. So I could not get to a bet here. I guess maybe after all that, I probably would lean towards the Cubs. Ben Brown has been really good, but here's the reason I didn't. Okay, so I like the Cubs, but here's the reason I couldn't pull the trigger on the Cubs, Toast. Let me bring this up. So it's Ben Brown. He's a righty. So this is where I was circling. I was like, I think I like the Cubs here. He's been excellent. Ben Brown's been awesome, but look at his splits. Window capture, Fangraphs. Oh, no, this is my MLB tools. All right, so look, his numbers against righties, absolutely dominant. His numbers against lefties, not so much. Look at Cincinnati's lineup today. It's lefty, 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 lefty. 6 lefties. So as much as I like Ben Brown, I don't know if Cincinnati, who is showing some signs of life, I don't know if it's the best lineup to back them. So it's Cubs or pass. Not to mention Lodolo's been pretty good. So, yeah, it's Cubs or pass for me.
First 5 over 3.5. Yeah, not going to let them mistake. Yesterday was so frustrating because I didn't want to do anything else, and I played both 3.5 and they hit. So, yeah, I just, again, guys, I continue to hit with these 3.5 totals over and over again. I'm not even exaggerating when I'm hitting at like 70% on these. So, Sauce just talked about the Reds have a whole bunch. Brown hasn't given up a run in his last 2 starts. His only start at home, he went 4 innings, didn't give up a run to the Brave. I think that dam's about to break here. I just don't trust the Reds in general to win games, but I do trust them to score runs here, not to mention the Reds bullpen, Sims and Cruz back-to-back days. I'm not really the biggest fan of Alexis Diaz. I don't really trust him at all. And then on the Cubs bullpen side, Neris has went back-to-back days. Mark Leiter 2 of the last 3 days. Tyson Miller 2 of the last 3 days. Hayden Wisniewski went 2 of the last 3 days and 16 pitches yesterday. So, I was going to say first 5 over 3.5. I'm going to bet that, and I'm probably going to end up sprinkling a little bit on the Reds team total over 1.5 in the first 5 as well.
Really? So you think it's a fade spot for Ben Brown?
I don't want to say a fade. Like, I think that he's going to get hit.
Just playing the price.
Yeah, like if I get 2 runs in you know what I mean? Like that's nothing, and I cash a ticket at 3.5. I mean, that's all. Like I feel like both teams it could be a 2-2 game after 5. I cash, and then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you guys can deal with whoever wins later.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bet it. I do think the Cubs are gonna win, but I'm not gonna bet it.
I have no faith in Cincinnati actually winning that game, if that helps.
Yankees, Giants. Man.
You either like free money or you don't. It's that simple, baby.
I didn't bet this one. Probably not going to. I don't like backing Nestor Cortez on the road. He's significantly worse away from Yankee Stadium. But like... The Yankees minus 1.5 or pass. I'm not taking the Giants. That's fucking for sure. Pardon my language there. You know what? Maybe this. Maybe over or pass. Yankees minus 1.5. Something along those lines. I get it. And Snell's probably going to come around, and we did see some signs of improvement in his last start. But it's the Yankees, man, and when they're hot, you can't fade this lineup when they're hot. So I don't know. It's got to be Yankees minus 1.5 or over. I'm not betting this game.
Yeah. Yankees are free, guys. Just bet it up, just like you guys have been doing all week. I mean, I don't know how to change. I don't know why to change it. There's no reason for us to come on here and talk about the reasons why. I mean, there's no point in capping these games. Just keep on betting the Yankees. You're gonna be all right. So,
So someone said Sauce.
I'm not betting it, but whatever.
Someone says Sauce is a Yankees fan. No, most definitely not.
If I had to make the play, it'd be Giants first 5 team total over 1.5. It's absolutely ridiculous for Nestor Cortez on the road, who's given up. Obviously, he's given up 2 runs on the road in every start that he's made. So, but he's given up 4 runs on the road to Baltimore and Tampa Bay. The only team that he gave up 2 runs to was that LA team, and he gave up 2 in the first. It could have been a lot worse. So, first 5 team total over 1.5 for the Giants.
Okay, we're on to Rockies, Dodgers, and Dodger Stadium. Toast, I have a full unit on this game, separated into 2 bets. And I want your opinion on this. In my opinion, this total, so what I am on, by the way, I am on the under 8.5.
Oh, I was like, okay.
And I am on, let me get the other one up, sorry.
No, that makes total sense. I thought you were on a team. I was just surprised. That's all.
No, I bet it twice. I split
more sense.
Oh, it's at 123 now. I got it at minus 110. Andy made the graphic at minus. Yeah, so I split my money in half and I put a half unit on each. I have the first 5 under 4.5, the full game under 8.5. And honestly, this is a very simple explanation. I think the reason for this total is the 2 starting pitchers' names, Austin Gomer, Gavin Stone. But here's the thing: both of these starting pitchers are pitching really well. They're both pitching great right now. So I think we're getting an inflated total with 2 great starting pitchers, red hot starting pitchers, where the market doesn't really know or hasn't really caught up that these guys are great starting pitchers. Look at Gomer's recent numbers; he's been excellent. Same with Gavin Stone; these guys have been pitching excellent. So I think we're getting 2 great pitchers on the mound, and we're getting an 8.5 total with a 4.5 first 5 total because the market doesn't really recognize them as great pitchers. So that's my opinion, and I got a full unit on this under.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at this game yet just because I knew like the price would probably shoot up, but I'm gonna tell you, first 5 under 4.5 minus 110 on BetMGM.
Oh, it's still there? Okay, it's still there.
I don't understand why I wouldn't. Let's just talk about Austin Gomber, not Gomer.
I call him Gomer.
You were talking shit at first.
No, that's what I call him.
His last 3 starts on the road at Dodger Stadium. 2021, 6 innings, 3 hits. 6 innings, 3 runs. 2022, 3 innings, 1 run. 2023, 5 innings, 2 runs. So it's not like he's getting throttled by this Dodger team. On Austin Gomber, in his last 7 starts, he got hit up by Houston once, but besides that, on the road at Oakland. Again, I understand that you hear Oakland and it doesn't really do much, but Oakland's like at least a top 10 lineup versus left-handed pitching, or it was at a time. Not to mention San Diego. I'll give you that San Diego can't hit left-handed pitching to save their life, but he's not giving up a run. I mean, he didn't give up a run to San Diego. He didn't give up a run to Pittsburgh as well. So I don't really worry about Austin Gomber, not to mention the fact that we've seen over the last 10 days that the Dodgers offense is doing absolutely nothing at the plate. They can't hit with scoring position. They don't have any power. It is what it is. And then, like Sauce said, Gavin Stone has been a revelation for this Dodgers team. I mean, he is part of the reason why they've had so much success earlier in the year. Not only is he 5-2 with a 1.36 ERA. I mean, look at his innings pitched: 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7. This kid is not only giving them a chance to win, he's making it so they don't have to use a whole bunch of bullpen arms when he goes out there and starts too. So I think that you can expect quality starts from both of these pitchers. So at 4.5 at even money, hell yeah, I'm betting it right now.
Yeah, same. I love how I gave out the first 5 under, and then Toast goes, "Yeah, I'm going to tell you take the first 5 under," and then someone in the comment goes, "I'm tailing Toast on this one." Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we're under up. No, I didn't like it before, but I'm tailing Toast on this one. All right, 2 games left. Angels, Mariners. And if I'm being honest, last night when I was going through the games, I skipped over this one because I'm having a tough time getting a read on both these teams. And then this morning, I actually never got back to it. So I haven't looked at this game at all. Griffin Canning versus Luis Castillo. Seems kind of expensive for Castillo, but he's definitely pitching a lot better in the last month than he did in the first month. So Angels against a righty, I don't really trust. I like playing him against a lefty.
I really want to do it.
Look,
listen. Okay. All right. So, has Luis Castillo been really good? Yeah, I guess. I guess it's more average to me. I think that there's this idea that Luis Castillo is this very, very good pitcher coming over from Cincinnati and stuff. And if you guys remember, at the beginning of the year, he was kind of struggling, actually coming in out of the end of last year. Over his last 7 starts, he's been really, really good. I'll give him that. Had a really good start against Atlanta at home, decent start at Houston against Houston at home, and like a average start against Oakland. It's just that like he's going 5 or 6 innings and he's given up 2 or 3 runs, and like that's just not a dominant like lay 2 minus 200 with me. Like that's just not the type of guy that I'm trying to do that with. Griffin Canning, on the other hand, his last 7 starts, his last couple starts on the road at Houston and at Cleveland, went 5 innings against Houston, 2 runs, 6 innings against Cleveland, 2 runs. He just pitched against the Yankees, Houston, and the Cardinals. He gave up 3 to the Yankees, 2 to Houston, 1 against the Cardinals. He also played the Royals. He also played Cleveland. He also pitched against Philadelphia. Why am I mentioning that? All those teams can freaking hit. Mariners can't hit. So if you can think that Griffin Canning can just pitch well today against this team in the Mariners, who we all call them vampires for a reason because they can't do shit during the day. If you think that Griffin Canning can pitch at least decently well, and then you flip it over to the fact that you know that the Angels bullpen performs significantly better on the road, and none of those guys worked yesterday, it's kind of hard for me not to take a stab at plus 170 here against this. Do you guys really trust the Mariners just put up 5 and 9 runs a night? I know I sure as hell don't. So it'd be Angels or pass for me. I'm a
little scared of all those lefties in the Mariners lineup though, because Canning really, really struggles against lefty bats, and we're talking 4 out of the first 5 bats in the Mariners lineup are lefties. I mean, they're not like good lefties though.
It's just, if they get going, they're going to get going. But at the same time, Canning also does a whole bunch of curve or a whole bunch of spin. Like he throws his fastball 30%, but he's got this slider, change, and curve. And Seattle can't hit those pitches at all.
That's actually the pitch. I'm looking at the pitch mix, and you're right. Seattle sucks against the slider, the curveball.
Seattle struggles with spin. So it's just one of those things where I feel like if he gets things going and he's not off early, he could pitch well here. So that's where I'm at.
No, I'm not letting you talk me into it. I'm not doing it. So it's not doing it. It's Angels or pass. I'm not betting the freaking Angels today. It's a pass. Wow, actually, I don't know if the poll is tailing you or if they like the Angels, but 47%, 40%. So it's kind of split. A lot of people taking the Angels, if the poll is split on a plus 170 dog, that means a lot of people like them. Oh, why is it? Whoops, sorry. There we go. All right, let's talk Sunday Night Baseball. This is a very tough one to bet. Because obviously Sunday Night Baseball, it's kind of a sharp line. I looked at it. I want to play the Cardinals at the plus 120. Lance Lynn's been pretty good. But Lance Lynn struggles against lefty bats, and the Phillies have a couple dangerous lefty bats in that lineup. And just fading the Phillies just hasn't been a smart thing to do. There was like a week there they were struggling, but as a whole, it's not something I want to make a habit of. So I was actually going to pick the group's brain and see what everyone thought about. Aren't Sunday Night Baseball unders a thing? Oh, I don't have the under there.
Yeah.
So
it's at 9.
Yeah, it's all the way up at 9. Lance Lynn hasn't been really hasn't been that bad. So that's where I was thinking.
He definitely hasn't been as bad as people make it out to.
As he's branded. He's branded as being this shit starter, and he really hasn't been that. So I'll put up under 9. Sunday Night Baseball is usually hitting the Discord around 640. Guys, what are we doing? Because it's a standalone game, and when Sunday Night Baseball is coming on, everything else is ending. So a lot of times I don't really know what I'm betting on Sunday Night Baseball till later on. But I think right now I could see myself putting a few dollars on the under a few minutes before first pitch.
So for me, I really wanted to get to the Cardinals as well. Same type of thinking as Sauce. Not that I feel like the Phillies are a bad team or anything like that. There's a part of me that, like Sauce said, I don't think that Lance Lynn is pitching is nearly as bad as people are making it out to seem. My issue is that the Phillies have already seen him this year, but that's part of the reason why I have confidence. Keep in mind, Lance Lynn, again, it was at home, but again, he's been with the Cardinals for 1 year now. I don't really put too much stock into the home and road splits too much, but at home, he went 5 innings, gave up one hit and 2 runs. The runs weren't even earned. So he had 4 walks in that game. That's where my issue becomes. Like, if we're getting Lance Lynn that's all over the place, who's walking a whole bunch of guys, that's where I have issue with this one. But if he's going to be on his game, we're going to be all right. Taijuan Walker, on the other hand, he's been okay at home, I guess, but he hasn't really been good at all. He faced this Cardinals team last year on the road and got absolutely throttled. I lean under. I feel like it's at 9 for a reason, though.
Well, but hold on. I'm glad you brought that up. So here's why it's at 9, in my opinion. You're looking at Lance Lynn versus Taijuan Walker, and everyone's like, oh, shitty pitchers. But Lance Lynn hasn't been nearly as bad, and Taijuan Walker is better at home. So there's a couple caveats there. And, is this Cardinals lineup going cold?
Probably. Could be.
I mean, wait, hold on. Let me pull up yesterday. They didn't touch him. Hold on.
No. They had 1 home run, I think it was, if I remember correct, in the 3rd inning.
The Cardinals have scored 5 runs in their last 4 games. And
it wasn't even a home run.
No.
So
I'm sorry.
I was wrong.
The Cardinals have scored 4 runs in their last 4 games. 1-2-1-0. So you got 2 starting pitchers that the market thinks are shit. Lance Lynn's been pretty good. Taijuan Walker's better at home. You got a Cardinals lineup that the market thinks is good that isn't hitting. I just think there's a lot of hidden value there on the under, right? And not to mention, weren't you saying, this was probably a few weeks ago, but weren't you saying Sunday Night Baseball unders have been profitable?
Yes, 100%. No question.
So let's do this. I'm taking the under.
It'd be under a pass. There's no question about that. I'm kind of want to get to the Phillies, or not the Phillies, the Redbirds as well. So,
dude,
but
4 runs in 4 games is a tough look for a team that's
not 4 runs. They haven't scored 4 runs in 4 games.
Oh my God, I'm looking at. My bad.
I thought you were talking about on the road.
They haven't scored 4 runs in the last 4 games. Good Lord, I was looking at the wrong side of the chart. They've scored 3 runs in their last 2 games. I was looking at oh my God. So sorry about that. So they've scored 3 runs in their last 2 games, but they haven't hit in their last 2 games. So my bad on that, guys.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. I mean, it's still, even in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 3 of their last 5 games, they've scored 2 runs or less.
Right.
I mean, it's not like they're
remember,
fire.
This Cardinals lineup was ice cold earlier in the season, so it's not like it's unfathomable.
And honestly, that Tuesday, that's what it was. On Tuesday, that game they scored 7. 4 runs came in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. On that against the Cardinals bullpen. They did the same thing on the other night. They scored a run in the 8th and the 9th. So all these, under.
All right, so let's under it up. All right, community
plus money under in the night.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah.
All right, we're back. Let's do the community parlay.
I wish I could hear it.
Yeah,
I don't read the comments, but I can see all the yellow faces. I can see the yellow faces.
That was Prop Beaver's vocals, bro. Yeah, Prop Beaver insisted he sing that. That wasn't like, hey, Prop Beaver, I need you to do this. Like, he wanted to. Yo. All right, so Astros money line, Red Sox. Yo, the chat's going fucking crazy. Holy shit. Prop Beaver's vocals, man.
Oh, man.
Dude, the chat. Oh, shit. All right, so cast your votes on the community parlay. Someone goes, play it back. They really want it again? All right, one more
Give it to
time.
'em.
One more time.
Community parlay, the parlay we bet, yeah. Community parlay is for the community. We community, making a parlay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He played it twice.
Yes. All right, first leg is Braves money line. All right. The first community parlay with the jingle has to hit for Prop Beaver.
Yeah, I'm tailing. I'll tail this.
Bro, he put his like heart and soul into that too. Like you.
Oh man, that was funny.
All right. So next up, we got Pirates, Blue Jays. They voted for the Blue Jays of that one. Diamondbacks, Mets. They like the Diamondbacks, definitely. Nationals, Guardians. They like the Nationals in that one, I think. Rangers, Marlins. They like the Rangers. Someone goes, we the best music. No, someone Beaver didn't play the guitar. He sang it, and then we sent it to Organics. The guy, you'll see him in the chat. He's a sound engineer. So Beaver sang that, and he sent it to Organics, and we were like, my exact request was make it corny as hell. So I was like, make it as corny as you can. But Prop Beaver sang that.
That was awesome.
All right, Nationals money line.
Oh yeah, I'll do this. Braves, Nats.
Yep, we got an all NL East parlay so far.
Mets are up to -110.
I know, I saw that. It's so funny how he wanted to sing it. He said that, and I thought like he was joking. So then it was like a few days ago, and I texted him, and I was like, yo, Prop Beaver, I want you to sing the community parlay jingle, thinking I was like calling his bluff, and he didn't respond. He responded in like, I swear, 24 seconds with an audio wave of him singing it. Like it wasn't even like a hesitation. Like it was like he was ready, waiting for his moment.
Oh.
He was dead ass serious, dude.
Oh, one of a kind. I love him.
Kid needs help. All right, Royals money line. Oh shit. All right, what is the last leg of the community parlay? Cast your votes. So far, we have Braves, Nationals, Royals.
When he broke the desk, he was so sad. He was like so mad at himself. I'm like, dude, desk can be repaired. Our best can be replaced.
He was like,
I was like,
he
you're
was
mad
like,
because you care, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
He was like, I thought I was gonna get fired. Like,
That's why he called me. I didn't want to say that out loud, but
Yeah.
yes, that's why he called me. He's like, you think he's gonna fire me? I was like, what?
no, dude, and he replaced
No.
it. He bought, dude, the new desk he bought. He replaced it with like a much nicer desk. So he like upgraded the office. So he actually did us a service.
I was like, no, dude, you're fine. Shit happens. You did it because you cared. Like,
If he broke a
I'd much rather have
computer,
somebody
I'd be pissed.
care.
But like,
well, yeah, that's different. But yeah,
but yeah, those desks that I gave them were cheap anyway. So yeah, he upgraded it. All right, Phillies money line is the last leg.
Phillies money line. Put them all together in a parlay.
In the community parlay. Someone said plus 819. Is that right?
I have 842 on DK, but yeah.
Cool. So the community parlay is Braves money line, Nationals money line, Royals money line, Phillies money line plus 842. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, so tomorrow, Prop Beaver wants to produce tomorrow. He wants to take another shot, and I fixed the audio. Other than the audio in the last one, it went pretty smoothly. So I think he's getting the hang of it. So it'll be me, Toast, and somebody. I'll figure it out. Still a few days away from the NBA Finals, so we're just in baseball mode right now. And let me look at the schedule. Tomorrow, all night games. So normal time, 4:00 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do WNBA or whatever's on WNBA, or if there's MLS or something. That'll be at 4, and we'll do MLB at 4:30. That'll be the schedule. Everyone, have a great Sunday. Remember to bet responsibly. All my bets are posted on the site. If you have Sauce Network Plus, they're there. I'm not posting anymore. The only one I was considering adding was that Blue Jays team total under, and I'm going to stay off because there's going to be Sunday weirdness in that game. So my bets are posted. Everyone enjoy their day. Thanks for watching.
Have a good day, guys.